Hey, it's Professor Gould. In this video, we're going to talk about the markings that we see on the lateral skull. So, hey, real skull here. We can see, let's start first with the bones that we see here. We've got the maxilla here up at the front. We've got the zygomatic bone here. We've got this nice squamous suture between the temporal bone and the parietal bone here. And this is part of the temporal bone. The temporal bone comes all the way around back here, including this process called the mastoid process, and that hole called the external acoustic meatus. That's your ear hole. Oop, don't drop the skull. We can also see a little bit here of the sphenoid bone, okay? This is the pterygoid process. It's just pterygoid, but there's a P on it, of the sphenoid. And we can also see here, see that little triangular shaped thing there? That is the greater wing of the sphenoid bone. All right, other things we see, we can see part of the lambdoid suture back here. We can see, so this is the occipital bone. This part is the parietal bone. Ignore these cuts here. This is so we can take this off and see the inside of the skull. And then we can see right here, the coronal suture between the frontal bone and the parietal bone. We can also see, I really like this skull for this. You see this light colored band that goes across like this, right? This has two lines on the top and the bottom. This is the inferior temporal line, the superior temporal line. Those are where the temporalis muscle originates, and then it's going to insert under here on the coronal process of the mandible. Okay, so let's go back to here, talk about some of the processes that we see here. Here's our zygomatic bone, okay? And remember, when a process from a bone connects to another bone, we have a specific naming system. So this here, this is the maxillary process of the zygomatic. It connects with the zygomatic process of the maxilla. This is the temporal process of the zygomatic bone. This is the zygomatic bone process of the temporal bone. Zygomatic process of the temporal bone, thank you. Together, these two processes from here to here make up the zygomatic arch. So make sure you're paying attention on the test with what is being asked. If I ask you what the process is called, this is the zygomatic process of the temporal bone. If I ask what this whole structure is, it's the zygomatic arch. That makes the cheekbone, the ridge of your cheekbone. This is the frontal process of the zygomatic bone, okay? And you can see there's a suture right there. This is the zygomatic process of the frontal bone. Okay? Just remember where it's going to of the what it's part of bone. We can also see right here the articular tubercle. Okay, that is a little bump that's going to help articulate with the mandible. And then here, under here, better from the inferior, we can see the mandibular fossa. Okay, so those are the lateral markings that you need to know. Maxilla, zygomatic, frontal, parietal, temporal, orbital, and sphenoid bone. Maxillary process of the zygomatic, frontal process of the zygomatic, temporal process of the zygomatic, zygomatic arch, zygomatic process of the temporal bone, mastoid process, external acoustic meatus. Oh, you know, I forgot one more because it's broken. There's another process right here called the styloid process. Zygomatic process of the frontal bone, squamous suture, coronal suture, lambdoid suture. That's your lateral skull.